This might be one of the worst rankings I've ever seen in my life. Eternals as the best MCU movie is absolute insanity. But sadly, we're probably going to see a lot worse because I asked you guys, my subscribers, to submit your letterbox accounts, which will let me react to your terrible movie reviews, franchise rankings, and your favorite films of all time. So let's get into it. Starting off, the first subscriber today is Gavin. His 4 favorite movies are Stand By Me, The Lighthouse, La La Land, and The Prestige. Absolutely amazing choices there, and I love seeing the 2-star review for Wuthering Heights down here. Now, getting into some of your reviews you've left for movies is where I get a little concerned, like giving Deadpool a 2.5 out of 5-star rating and saying he's even worse than Harley Quinn. First of all, Harley Quinn is not a bad character, but claiming that Deadpool is worse than her is absolutely insanity. He also gave Moon Knight a 2.5-star, which I honestly think is a popular opinion. A lot of people really didn't like this series, but I personally really loved it. But my guy Gavin, this is where you really lose me. The MCU ranking. Captain America Civil War in first place. Absolutely love that pick. I think it easily deserves to be top 5 in everybody's MCU ranking. Fantastic Four First Steps at number 2. Black Panther Wakanda Forever at 3, and then Eternals at 4. This has to be personal rage bait to me. We got Captain America the First Avenger at number 11, Multiverse of Madness at 12. Where's like the original Iron Man, the first Avengers movies? Of course, this video is mostly a joke. I don't really care. Everybody can have their own opinions. That's what makes movies fun. But this is genuinely a blasphemous list from top to bottom. Like Captain America the Winter Soldier, great number 5 pick. And then we immediately go to Captain America Brave New World, No Way Home, and Ultron, fine. But above Endgame is kind of crazy. Now, the bottom of your MCU ranking is a little bit better with things like She-Hulk and Echo down there. I think Ironheart's slightly overhated. Marvel Zombies definitely does not deserve to be at number 43. Thor Love and Thunder, that's perfectly fine there. Things like Doctor Strange at 39th in the MCU is insane to me, though. I mean, the DCU is so bad, honestly, you really can't have a wrong ranking, but I feel like having James Gunn's The Suicide Squad all the way down here is wrong. Hopefully, this is not ranked, though, because you don't have the numbers on. Looking at Gavin's 2025 ranking list, I love some of this, like F1. It's not my number 1, but that is a really fun movie. I did really like Marty Supreme, Sinners, Train Dreams. All of those are in my top 3 favorite films of the year, and they're year 5, 6, and 7. Frankenstein at number 2 and Fantastic Four First Steps at number 3, a little concerning. I'm also not the biggest fan of Captain America Brave New World at number 9, but otherwise not a bad. Overall, a pretty wild start from Gavin here, but this is what's on his watch list here. These are all films I have highly rated that are on your watch list. I definitely would recommend Mulholland Drive, Logan, Back to the Future. I mean, come on, that's a classic. You gotta watch it. No Country for Old Men, amazing. So thank you to Gavin for submitting your profile, but it completely rattled me to start this video. Let's move on to Penguin King, the next subscriber to submit his. His top 4 are The Thing, Whiplash, The Godfather Part 2, and Schindler's List. A little film bro-y, but they are all incredible films, so I can't be mad at it. Now, me seeing that top 4 and then immediately going to reviews and seeing 3.5 stars for Venom: The Last Dance and saying it's better than the first 2 is a little insane to me, but you know what? Everybody's got their own taste. I will say I am a big fan of this bit of you just rewatching Memento over and over again, and every time you just say in your review, oh, that was a good movie, I'd love to watch it a second time, because if you don't know, Memento's about a guy with memory loss. Now let's get into Mr. Penguin's different rankings here. This first one is the Christopher Nolan ranking, and honestly, nothing too bad here. I'd have Inception higher, but I absolutely love all his movies, so I can't be mad at this, and Tenet in last place is definitely the right pick. See, this DC ranking, I absolutely love Superman. I'm so high on it. It over The Dark Knight, The Batman, and Batman Begins is kind of crazy work in my opinion. I think those are just in a different level of superhero movie in my opinion, but otherwise I don't think this list is like absolutely horrible. I mean, Man of Steel, way too high. That is a garbage movie. It should be towards the bottom of everybody's list, but whatever. I am a fan of the Respect for the Dark Knight Rises in 9th place. That is a really good pick. I feel like people way overhate on that movie. For the Ryan Gosling ranking, I definitely would have La La Land in probably 2nd place of these movies here, but you definitely need to watch Blade Runner 2049 if you're a fan of things like Interstellar. Besides that, here's your other movies on your watch list that I have incredibly highly rated. Next profile up is Chat Bunks. You've got a top 4 of La La Land, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Rocky, and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Some good variants here. Very valid top 4. 3 out of 5 for One Battle After Another is a little wildly low, but I do agree it's a little overrated. I don't think it's like a 5 out of 5. It's at least, though, a 4. Pretty wild Star Wars ranking. I don't think I've ever seen anybody put Return of the Jedi in first place. I feel like we can all agree that's the weakest of the original trilogy. But after that, then we got like Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, valid picks. I do think the original Star Wars should definitely be higher than Revenge of the Sith. Then going to The Last Jedi, Attack of the Clones, kind of all over the place here, I'm not going to lie. You're cooking with this Spider-Man ranking because I see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse in the top 2 spots. And I think everybody can agree those are the best 2 Spider-Man movies. No Way Home, I can't agree with this being in 3rd place. list. Like in theaters, it was a special 5 out of 5 experience. Every time I rewatch it, though, it gets weaker and weaker for me. Now I'd probably have it around like 6th place personally. But I mean, other than that, nothing I can really complain about. Like Madam Web, Kraven the Hunter in last place. That's valid. I even like your Harry Potter franchise ranking. We got Prisoner of Azkaban rightfully in 1st place, and then Order of the Phoenix in 2nd. 2 banger picks there. Overall, not a terrible profile at all. Next one is the Paxolotl. This one we've got Jurassic Park, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Thing, and Scream in the top 4. Again, very valid favorites from everybody so far today. Tron Legacy at a 7 out of 10 is a very fair ranking, but to me personally, it feels like an attack because I absolutely love this movie. Back to the Future Part 2 getting a 2.5 out of 5-star ranking does feel a little crazy. I think this is a banger and honestly the second best Back to the Future movie. I prefer it over the second one, especially when we get like both the Five Nights at Freddy's movies at 7 out of 10s. What are we doing there? And I honestly have a feeling we're going to strongly disagree on a lot of different things since you gave Avatar Fire and Ash a 4.5 out of 5-star ranking, and you guys know how I feel about this movie and all the Avatar films. Surprisingly, you kind of cooked with this MCU ranking. Like Guardians Volume 3 and Infinity War, amazing top 2. Thor Ragnarok and like I just said, Spider-Man No Way Home feel a little bit high, but I do love the respect for Thor Ragnarok. Really funny movie. Then I got Guardians in 5th place here. Endgame, Thunderbolts up this high. I really like Black Panther. I'd have it lower, but I can't be mad at it. Civil War and Avengers, really solid top 10. What I can't stand for is having Iron Man 3 ranked as the 27th best MCU film and actually 5th worst in your ranking here. Also, Avengers Age of Ultron this low and Doctor Strange. This is a common theme on everybody's MCU rankings. Am I the only one that really liked this movie? Looking at your DreamWorks ranking here, love Wild Robot in 1 and How to Train Your Dragon at 2. You guys know how I feel about the Shrek franchise. I think all the movies are fine. Like the first 2 are fine, the last 2 are pretty bad actually. I would not have Shrek 2 this high up, but I know I'm the one that has the hot take on that. Then I love Kung Fu Panda in 4th place, Prince of Egypt in 5th. Pretty solid picks overall here. Not a terrible 2025 ranking either. Like again, I love the Sinners and Superman placement. Would not have Avatar at 3rd place. Weapons a little bit too high. Love the respect for Thunderbolts though. We got Neja 2 wasn't personally for me. Zootopia, not bad. Next profile, we've got Laughlin with a top 4 of Whiplash, Scott Pilgrim, The Pursuit of Happiness, and Pulp Fiction. Not bad whatsoever. I also do love seeing the 3 stars for Spider-Man No Way Home, but then 5 stars for Ready Player One a little while. And looking at some of your reviews, I'm a little worried already because we got Inglourious Bastards with a 3.5 out of 5 with I Expected More, and then 7 with kind of overrated but still really good. I think those are both like masterpiece 9 or 10 out of 10 films. And I think we have some very different tastes in film. You gave Begonia 1 star, Crazy Stupid Love 1.5 stars, and just said no. I really want to know what the explanation is on that one. One of the only lists I was able to find in your account is this one, the only 16 movies that you consider to be perfect, which honestly, there are a lot of bangers in this. For the most part, I have no problems with this. A very personal list. I gotta know what's happening with Hustle down here as being one of the 16 movies you consider perfect compared to all these other ones. Next profile up is Piggy Oman with a top 4 of Sinners, Kill Bill, The Dark Knight, and Fight Club. Very film bro-y, but all good movies. But I clicked on the reviews of your profile and was personally offended almost immediately when I found Dune at a 3 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry, this is a 5 out of 5 masterpiece. You guys know I am one of the biggest Dune glazers on the planet. Big day for orange lovers is just a disrespectful review. I'm sorry. Though I can't lie, you do redeem yourself with a pretty fire top 10 comic book movies of all time, like Into the Spider-Verse, Dark Knight, then Infinity War, Endgame, Superman, The Winter Soldier, The Batman, Civil War, The Suicide Squad, and The Dark Knight Rises. Banger list. Harry Potter, you immediately lose me again. I feel like we can all agree Goblet of Fire is like one of the weaker movies of the entire series. Definitely not number 1. And then Sorcerer's Stone, I get it. It's the first one. The nostalgia is super strong, but also definitely towards the bottom of my personal Harry Potter ranking, not number 1 and 2. Star Wars ranking, then you've got like a Revenge of the Sith in 1st place, Return of the Jedi 2nd place. I don't know what the love is for this movie today. Overall, though, not a terrible profile outside of the Dune review. Now, if you want to be in the next one, like I said, you can comment your letterbox on this YouTube video, or to get a higher chance, go to my letterbox at Vets Movies. Scroll down a little bit. See this pinned review from me from Paint Drying. If you just comment on that video, anything, I will scroll through here and click people to review in the next one. Now, if you want to see the previous videos in this series, make sure to click the playlist above my head right now, and thank you so much for watching.